as a Sevadal, most of us go through lots of experiences, whether close quarters with Bhagawan or at distance. But a Sevadal's mind is always should always be a service-oriented mind, because Bhagawan may not directly give us any responsibility, but it will come in through different forms. But once we are given a responsibility, our objective is to ensure to do it as he expects us to do. So the meticulously planning and exercising our normal mind to put our mind into the act and do it systematically. So one day Mr. Venkatraman sir called me and said there is going to be a Unity Cup in Puttaparthi, and I am giving you an assignment. C. Srinivas was coordinating with Kallicharan at that time and Gavaskar. So Venkatraman sir introduced me to them, and my job was to go to Bombay, receive all the players. Clive Lloyd had come, Shakleen Mushtaq, Afridi, Moin Khan, Hanif Mohammad, Zahir Abbas, and then 2 Bangladeshis and 1 Dougie Brown from Scotland. All these players I am supposed to receive, put them in the hotel, and then next morning we had a charter flight. All the boarding cards were with me, because it's a charter flight. We had the boarding cards in advance, and checking in the baggage with all these players. So myself, Tendulkar was also there. All of us boarded the flight in Bombay, and Nandakumar, another colleague of Sevadal of mine, he actually went to Goa, because he was asked to go to Goa and pick up the Sri Lankan team, which was playing with the India 11 or some match. Some of the players of India 11 and all the Sri Lanka players were also supposed to be accompanying in the same flight. So from Bombay to Goa and Goa to Puttaparthi. Then after landing in Parthi, all the players went to their respective rooms in Shanti Bhavan. I was also made to stay there for the night. Next morning was the game. Bhagawan sat through the entire match, and my job again was to ensure that they go back to Bangalore and board the flight. So they arranged a bus, and then I had all the players back in to Bangalore, and comfortably boarded them. Small problems were there, like Pakistani players did not have seat. So I had to beg the counter fellows. They said the flight is already overbooked, we can't give. They said, no, we have a party in embassy, Pakistan embassy, we have to go. Then somehow we got their seats, and I put Zahir Abbas in the hotel. One interesting thing is, none of the Pakistani players attended the darshan that day except Zahir Abbas and Hanif Mohammad. Swami created a beautiful chain for Zahir Abbas, and he was literally crying. Whole evening he was crying. He was pleasantly surprised or shocked, I don't know. And of course Hanif Mohammad was also given an interview. Then after arriving in Bangalore, we found that one of the suitcases of that Dougie Brown was missed out by the Sevadal to put. So he was very upset. And then I told him, sir, it's my responsibility. I will ensure that it reaches you in London. Then we found out that he kept it under the cot and nobody has seen it. So next morning, luckily, one of the devotees who came from London was going back. So we gave it to him and it was delivered to him, and I was happy. So one of the takeaways from this is, when Swami gives an assignment, however tough it is, he will be with you to make sure that things happen, even with limitations or any problems which you have, they will be solved automatically. So it was a tough experience, because all these cricket players were actually VIPs. Saurav Ganguly was also there. Saurav Ganguly wanted to change the flight, and because I was working in NCR at that time, I talked to my office people and changed his ticket and ensured that he boarded the flight much before what he planned actually. So these are the tough experiences. I have one more experience which I can narrate. Yeah, basically, one Pathsarthi, who is a protocol in Vidhan Sauda, was always coordinating any VIP receptions in airport. So this time when Bhagawan was in Kodaikanal in 2005, myself was again sent along with Pathsarthi to Coimbatore and accompany Bhagawan in the same chartered flight. There was nothing much other than boarding all the passengers, because along with Swami, his own family members are there. plus most of the students and VIPs. So we ensured that all the boarding cards are, even though it's a chartered flight, they take the boarding card. So that was smoothly done. But in 2006 again, I was sent to Madurai. So this was a tense experience for me because wherever Bhagawan goes, the entire family and students also go with him. So if they all had come to the airport first and then Swami comes later, I would have comfortably checked them all in with their baggage and given the boarding card. So what happened was, from Kodaikanal, Bhagawan went to Chettiar's house in Madurai, and from after the lunch and he came to the airport. A whole entourage came along with him. So it was such a tense moment for me, and most of them were not known to me except a few VIPs. So I was literally panicking how to distribute because calling the names and then giving them is not an easy task. Then Ratnakar sir was there and Amey Deshpande was there. So they both helped me. Smoothly, we three of us distributed the boarding cards. In the meantime, what happened? Bhagawan had gone into the VIP gate. So he went in, he sat in the aircraft. All passengers have checked in, and I was the last person. After the flight took off, I had a letter with me to ask Swami, because our Sai Nama Kirtana Kalyuga Sadhana exhibition was supposed to take place on 12th. So I wanted to request Swami to come and inaugurate it. So I took the letter with the permission of C. Srinivas and Balram sir. So I knelt before Swami and requested Swami, please come and inaugurate the exhibition. He said, Eppudu? I said, 12th Swami. So he said, Manchidi vastanu. Then I went back to my seat, and after everything was over, I came back to our Vrindavan Bhajan group. I mentioned to them what has happened, and we all are ready to have this exhibition set. So we brought the panels from hospital and then kept them aside. Then after 15-20 days, they permitted us to ask Swami. We all went into Trai, requested Bhagawan again. He said, I will come. Then we set up the exhibition. That day Narendra Modi came. He was the Chief Minister of Gujarat at that time. He also came, and Sai Gitanjali Samiti had their anniversary. So Bhagavan was sitting in the Sai Ramesh hall listening to their bhajans. Suddenly he told the people who were with him, we want to go and see the exhibition. So he came and inaugurated the exhibition. We had a wonderful time at that time, and his compassion is something which we all felt. And in spite of all those schedules, he remembered our invitation, and he came, and it was very touching. And he went through all the exhibits and asked few questions of the volunteers who were standing there. Most of them are BBG members. And after Bhagavan inaugurated, more than 4,000 devotees came and saw the exhibition.